Hey everybody, how is it going today? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I want to talk about the tattooed chef because there's been some pretty strange option activity going on during this current run-up. And then after that, I want to get into some of the best looking swing trades that I see setting up right now. All right, well, the first one I want to start off with is the tattooed Chefaroonie, ticker symbol TTCF. And if you are new to this channel, what I like to do for the most part is swing trade. I do invest for the long term, and I do buy and sell options, which I will talk about occasionally on the channel. But mostly what I like to do is swing trade. That is my favorite style of investing, and I like to keep it pretty simple with a very simple bottoming formation. Trading, I think we try to make a little bit too complex. I heard once back when I first started trading that the market's simplicity is its greatest disguise, and I do believe that. I do think we try to overthink things too much. All we really need to do is try to find these trends, try to find the turning points, and try to get in as soon as possible and let the trend do its job and carry the trade to profitability. Or if it's a false signal, you get out with that small loss and you move on to the next one. And in every video, I show you trades that are setting up in the moment, not trades that have already happened. I show you ones that are setting up. So if you're interested in that, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification. But please remember, I'm not a financial advisor. All this is just my opinion. Please make your own trading decisions, etc., etc. But let's get into this tattooed chef chart. And actually what I wanted to point out the most is I've heard a rumor that possibly the Wall Street Bets gang has gotten control of the tattooed chef, or have set their sights on the tattooed chef. And I've been watching this one for the last week or so really closely. I do own shares in this company, but I was watching options right here, and when the stock moved up to this 200 period simple moving average, this yellow line on the chart, this 2250 call right where it's at right now was worth 35 cents. So $35 for each option. That was what they were going for back then. But then we had this down day right here, and the options didn't really move at all. And I found that kind of strange. And then when it had this reversal day where it came up to not even as high as it was 2 days before, the option price doubled. And I was thinking that that was extremely strange. I had never seen that before. And then when the option blasted through the 200 the next day, it doubled again. So there's been some pretty strange option activity right now with the tattooed chef. So I do think that there is something going on. I just wanted to give you guys a heads up on that. You know, take that information for what it's worth. But I mean, this thing has been going straight up. It's run head right into this this resistance area right here. And, you know, it's finding resistance at it today. But, I mean, if there is something going on with this Wall Street Bet crew, you know, if there is a big squeeze going on, a gamma squeeze, whatever kind of squeeze you want to talk about, this resistance area is going to be no match for it. So, I mean, the tattooed chef could end up exploding. I think there's going to be some opportunities with this stock to be traded, you know, up or down in the next, you know, probably a couple of days, maybe even a couple of weeks. But I just want to give you guys a heads up on that because there are some strange things going on with the chef right now. But all right, the next one I want to get into is NetList, ticker symbol NLST. I put this one in the description of my video a couple of days ago, and I totally spaced it on my list. I forgot to go over it. I apologize for anybody who watched that video looking for an update on NetList. That was not done on purpose. That wasn't clickbait. I just totally forgot about it. But anyway, I want to get into the chart right now. What I wanted to point out that day was that NetList is in the middle of this descending wedge formation, and it's still in there right now. And usually these things kind of resolve to the upside, so I'm waiting for this thing to break through this trend line and jump above these moving averages right around $7 or so. I think if NetList can do that and hold it, this thing could be heading up to its next move up. I mean, we've had this big, gigantic move up, and even though this pullback that it's had has had some big swings to the downside, for the most part, it's been a rather light pullback. I mean, we can see right here where the average daily volume, right down here, this white line, there's only been one red day that it's been over the average daily volume. So, I mean, this pullback has been rather light compared to volume lately. You can see on the move up, almost every single day was above average volume, so there was a lot of accumulation going on right there. So I think NetList is just waiting to turn around. And if we go to that 15-minute chart on NetList, we can see that descending wedge formation a little bit clearer. It's putting pressure on this upper boundary. It's got these moving averages to get through, but I think once it pops through it, NetList could be making its next leg up. So I'll be keeping a close eye on NetList for hopefully a breakout above that trend line and trying to catch that next swing up. The next one that I wanted to go over was NAT. This one has been a pain in people's hind parts for a long time. I know a lot of people that are still long the stock. This thing just continues to fade lower and lower, but it looks like it is finally starting to bottom. Nordic American tankers. So hopefully for everybody that is still in this stock, hopefully this thing can go on a run for you. I know you guys have been collecting that dividend the whole way down, but that doesn't make you feel all that much better when the stock price continues to go lower. But if we zoom in a little bit closer, we can see this thing was in a pretty sharp downtrend, and this is what I'm talking about when I'm saying let the trend work in your favor. Now, if you were short this one, then it was in your favor. You know, if as long as it stays below that 8-period exponential moving average and you are short, there is no reason to exit that trade until you get a break above it. And that's actually what we've had in the last week or so. Had that break above that 8-period exponential moving average and then that hold. And now we're getting a break above this little consolidation. So this downtrend could finally be over. This could be the start of the next uptrend. And this thing has been pulling back for an awful long time. So, I mean, a move up to this 200-period simple moving average would not be out of the realm of possibility. That's a pretty decent move from these levels. And there's actually some resistance right at that point in the chart as well. So I would expect Nordic American tankers to have some heavy resistance if it does make it up to that 200-period simple moving average, because there are multiple layers of resistance right in that zone. The next one I want to get into is Editas. Editas is looking very tradable right now. This thing is making a bullish triangle formation up at these higher levels, and a lot of these gene editing stocks are having strong days, but Editas looks the strongest at the moment. This thing looks poised to just break above this resistance area. And if we go to that 15-minute chart, we can see how nice this bullish triangle formation is looking at the moment. This thing just looks poised to break above, I don't know, call it 68.50 a share and just head up to that next move up. We had this very strong move up earlier in the month, and it's just been consolidating in an upward sloping manner. So that just tells you that it is under accumulation. And if we look at some of the other ones, that's one thing I like to do when I'm looking at one of these swing trades. I want to see how other stocks in the industry are doing. And if we look at CRISPR, you can see CRISPR looks like it is bottoming out here and starting to move higher. Another one is NTLA, excuse me. This one is looking very strong as well. This one had a huge move up at the end of June and it's just been kind of consolidating sideways. It's actually selling off a little bit at the moment. Last time I looked at it, it was right at the high of the day. So these are pulling back a little bit, but this is intraday, so we'll have intraday swings going on. But this one is also looking very bullish, and we're getting that little bit of a rounded bottom formation. And another one in that sector is Beam. See, Beam Therapeutics is also rounding up, looking to head higher. So I would expect all four of these to potentially be quite strong in the next couple of weeks or so. They're definitely setting up to move higher. Now, another one I want to talk about is Skills. This one was brought to my attention by Hugo in the Patreon. And if you guys are interested in joining the Patreon, there is a link down in the description. It is only $10 a month, and if you want to know what we are trading in real time and you want to support the channel, that link is down there in the description. But Hugo was pounding the table about buying skills when it was starting to make this bottoming formation, and I didn't listen. I'm not even sure if he got in or not. But man, what an explosion this thing had. It's actually reversed today, but he was talking about it when it was under $11 a share, making this rounded bottom formation, putting pressure on this resistance area, and man, that thing just exploded. Could have got in right around $11 a share, maybe a little bit lower, and that's when he was bringing it to my attention. This thing just exploded to $14 a share just a couple days later. So when these patterns, start forming like this, sometimes it can be rather explosive, especially when a stock has been moving down for a long time and it's moved down a long way. As you can see, this move all the way from $22.50 where it bottomed out down to $10. I mean, that was over a 50% correction. So a retracement up like this is, it's really not that big of a move up. So there's a lot of volatility. There's a lot of opportunity for making these swing trades. Man, another one that he was talking about was TKAT. And man, TKAT had a nice strong move up as well, and TKAT just continues to move sideways, making this bullish triangle formation. It is having a hard time getting through that 200 period simple moving average, but that is not all that uncommon. But once it gets through this, this thing could potentially really start screaming, and I believe this company is in the NFT space, and those things are red hot. So this one is definitely a it looks kind of like an explosion that's waiting to happen, like something like dropping a Mentos into a Coke bottle or something. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if TKAT just explodes out of this pattern. If we go to that 15-minute chart, we can definitely see that nice rounded bottom formation. This thing just continues to move higher and put pressure on that resistance area. So TKAT is one that is definitely worth watching. Another one I want to talk about is Plug Power, ticker symbol PLUG. Let's go back to the daily chart first. We can definitely see this one has been moving sideways for the last month and a half or so. It tried to get going in early August, but pulled back, made a false breakdown, and now it moved right back up into this consolidation area, and it's starting to round up. And if we go to that 15-minute chart, you can see it's finally breaking through this resistance area, and it's almost pulling back to it. So it's almost at the buy zone, right around 26.85 or so. So I'm definitely keeping a close eye on Plug Power. I might be entering that one today. And speaking of ones that I have entered Context Logic a couple of days ago when it was making this false bottom right here, and then this rounded bottoming formation. And I got in probably right around, gosh, I don't have my chart in front of me. I got in right around 715. Things had a big move up to 775, but it is pulling back right now. Hopefully the run is not over. I thought if it broke 750, this thing would just start screaming, and it looks like that was what was going to happen, but it's just pulling back a little bit now. But it could, finish the day strong. But Wish definitely looks like it is completing that rounded bottom, and hopefully we get into that acceleration phase of the trend. All right, well, the next one I want to talk about is TWOU. We look at TWOU, definitely making a nice rounded bottom formation. Already blasted through that resistance area, so all I need for it now is just a little bit of a pullback to enter TWOU. And if we go to that daily chart, we can definitely see why it is pulling or not extending the move a little farther today. It's hitting its head on that 21 period exponential moving average. That's what happens a lot once it makes this rounded bottom formation. So you always have to be aware of that 21 period exponential moving average. But if this thing pulls back close to $37 a share, I think it's going to be a pretty decent entry on a stock that looks like it could be bottoming. Okay, everyone, that is all I have for this video, so I'm going to end it right there. But if you have any questions or comments on any of these stocks, or if you have any other ones you want me to take a look at, please leave it down there in the comments section. I will get to them as soon as I can. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching my video all the way to the end, and until next time, take care, everybody.